Oh, my name's Fox Ryan. So look at Ambit Fox. Amphibia. It's a great show. I love it. If I say but at the end, that'd be really bad. And okay, I love this thing. And it made me cry. It really did. It really did. The ending bit, I'm mixed on. Certain ending bits. This, first off, few things. One, I love this picture. I love the blue stuff like that. There's a code there. I'm going to check on Twitter to see if I can find whatever the hell the meaning of this code is, because it's not in Amphibian. It is not this. Oh shit. Can you even see that? There we go. It's not that. It's not that code. So, I don't know if that's... Is it all... Did the Alm have a different coding? Alm code Amphibia. No, that's the same Amphibian writing. So I don't know what writing this is. Unless it's in goddamn Thai. Hold on. Is this in Thai? I'm looking at... I just looked up Thai letters. And I just got this. And that's looking very Amphibia-esque writing. So now I'm wondering if that's legitimately what that is. Or they at least took inspiration from it, apparently. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with this information. I'm gonna look on Twitter. It looks like it might be Thai. I don't know. I don't see any, like... Oh, wait, I do. Hold on. Alright, but... I like this. This was great. This is an awesome series. This is a show... Let me say first the beginning of how I got Amphibia. Yeah, I know it's Amphibia's episode, but I just, like... Because literally, after I finished watching, I think it was season 1 of The Owl House. After season 1 was done, I was like, well, I don't have anything else to watch now. I have nothing to watch. And, like, I usually caught, like, the tail end of an Amphibia episode, like, on my DVR. And I'm like, oh, I see it has somewhat of a following. Let me go ahead and try watching it. So I'm like, and I don't have any of the Owl House right now, so I might as, and what, Amphibia was on season 2 at the time. I think I think the latest episode when I started watching Amphibia was the credit card episode with Sprig with the credit card. So I didn't know much going in. Like, I saw that bit at the end of an Owl House episode. I'm like, okay. Because I couldn't fast forward because my fast forward button was screwed up, so I kind of just watched the tail end of that episode so I can then watch the Owl House. So I'm like, okay. And then once the Owl House season 1 was done, I'm like, I don't have anything else to watch. And I'm like, I want to stick with, like, cartoon Disney kind of thing, good show. And then, like, heard about Amphibia, so I'm like, or saw a little bit of the tail end too, and I'm like, why not? So I went on Disney Plus and binge watched the whole show like in a week. It is good. I like this show a lot. I love this show a lot. I love a lot of this. Like, oh my god, I don't want to make, like, I would make this the thumbnail because it's so, oh shit. It's so perfect for a thumbnail, but also I feel like this is just a massive spoiler. I don't want to do that. But I like it. This episode was only around 23 minutes, half an hour. It is it is the end finale of Amphibia. Like, you have, like, the big thing was last episode. All In was the final end of Amphibia. This was, you know, like, the end, like, alright, time to pay off with them going, all of them going Calamity, and then all of them going Calamity form, but also all of them going, what is it? But, also, what is it? All of them going Calamity form and all of them fighting a big bad guy and just going super. Which, honestly, I'm gonna say this right now, I love their designs on this, too. Like, I will say, though, like, I did like the idea that some people kind of put up, like, the ideas of, like, Sasha's hair looking like fire, which I guess this is kind of what this is, but also Marcy's hair kind of looking like water. Like, it looking like water, maybe with, like, seashells or something in it. That way you have, like, watery hair, you have plants, and then you have fire hair. Like, I kind of like that idea. They did kind of that with Sasha's hair, making it fiery. They didn't really do that with Marcy. It kind of just is glowing. But I do like everything around it, like to like the gem designs where Anne's blue gem is more circular, Sasha's is more angular triangle, and Marcy's is more like a peridot. I like that. I like that. I like the shapes of it. I like how how all of their super forms look like an advancement of their base armor or their based armor. Anne's I think even keeps the skirt, but Anne's golden armor still stays there, but now it's like more turning bluer. Sasha gets a full armored body one now, and then Marcy's armor kind of gets more slimmer and more like elegant looking. It looks badass. I also like the tiara crowns, so that's just freaking cool. I like their powers, definitely, where each one kind of gives off a little bit of like who these characters are. Yeah, I think they must have talked about Anne being a tennis at some point. I don't think it's come up much, but we do know like that's her main weapon. Sorry, I just had to make sure everything was working because the Owl House episode, I didn't edit the audio correctly, or I didn't have the audio didn't record for my clip parts. So, yes, there was an audio mess up, like I said, at the very end of that episode. And I then had to, like, re-add in the sound for all of those. So all the clips in the last episode of the Owl House episode, I had to re-add those in. I had to re-copy over certain things. But yeah, this, I loved this. Just look at this. This looks cool as hell. I love how you have, obviously, Anne's tennis racket, and then even cuts into her love for, like, Domino and stuff like that. I love Ace. I'm sure that's a reference to something that I'm completely missing. You have Sasha with her cheerleading, while also her the Heron idea. I love that so much. And Giant Robot. Not as cool as Andreas' one, but it looks alright. Also do like that the chorus colors are just orange for this, which is cool. Yeah, you ain't gonna beat hers. That's freaking cool. I love Marcy's too. I love Marcy so much. Sorry, I'm gonna get to the actual episode too, but I wanted to get this out of the way first. I love this. Yeah, the most anime. There's so much interaction between these characters in this that I kind of wanted. Like I was thinking, I'm like, I kind of would have liked if Sasha and Marcy came in earlier, or we would have seen more of all three of them together in Amphibia, because their interaction, all three of them, at least now, definitely, their interactions are so good together, and I love it. Like,
this is the coolest, most anime thing that's ever happened to me.
Because, yeah, Marcy would know shit like that. Like, know stuff about, like, okay, yeah, this is, like, there's a point earlier, I'll bring it up in a minute. I love that her weapon is a giant domino. Also that, I don't know if you saw it. There's a...
Right by your side.
Her pin pops up. Her pin's pop up. That's cool to know. 15.
Nat 20, baby.
I love that. So wait, does each die hit them with a high number? Actually, I didn't check that. Because I think that's what it is. It's like, I love the idea of a random effect. Like, number 5, 10.
20, baby.
But also, I think that is that are dice copyrighted? Oh no, that's right. Okay, no, I was checking to make sure. Okay, no, wait, is that right? I'm like, yeah, it is. Yeah, 14, 8. Yeah, but other than that 20, then it just giant explosion with all the weapons. I love that. I love that so much. That is so damn cool. I love the animation that. I love Andreas destroying the court helmet and sending his robots to come help, which also it's really good that Marty tripped on a rock in space. I was kind of like, this show could go either way of Andreas either going back in with his dad or not, but no, like, I'm happy it didn't. He's helping his daughter. He's avenging him. He's trying to right some wrongs.
Andreas' robots?
I love that. But then you obviously have this this whole thing going on where these two aren't, I guess, as stable using their calamity forms, which I'm on two minds about. Because one, Anne seems to, at basically towards the end, is able to somewhat control the calamity form. And then this shows that if you use the calamity form enough, your body will eventually get used to it. Basically, similar to how Goku went a year in Super Saiyan 1, so he could be acclimated to the Super Saiyan form and, you know, be able to basically turn into Super Saiyan on a dime now. And could have been doing that. Like, at least, like, how cool would it have been every day that she could have been, like, you know, like, at least, like, pulling up the energy to, like, try to get herself acclimated to it every single day to then be able to get it. And, like, okay, maybe All In probably, you know, she probably would have faded fast still. But, like, I'm just like, that means you could have been training with this blue calamity powers. I'm like, whatever. Like, at least to just get acclimated with it. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's some specific thing. That was my whole thing. I'm not trying to shit on the show. I'm not. I'm just trying to bring that up. Also, Anne is told that there's a backdoor power. There's a form to be able to, like, a way that she could take all the energy from all three stones, channel it into herself, and it'll give her the power to destroy the core. Which she asks her friends for. They agree.
You'd better come back alive, Boon Choi. I swear to frog you'd better.
And also how fast these guys get into space is kind of amazing. Not the flying, not so much the Calamity Girls, more along the lines of the core being a helmet just went, or at this point where,
She said she may not make it. What?
or the point where, Sprig flies directly up there in seconds.
You dare use Amphibia's greatest treasure against us?
These stones are not Amphibia's greatest treasure.
And then here comes another extremely anime thing, and I love anime. I do like anime. Like, I haven't really watched too many more recently. I've been mostly watching American cartoons. But, I don't know. I think there's something special when an American cartoon borrows from anime, and it feels more genuine, I guess. Like, let me not get wrong. Like, my favorite animes are like Gurren Lagann, Well, my favorite anime is Gurren Lagann. That's a flat out thing. And Gurren Lagann, I think, was made specifically as an anime. Later on, we obviously there was a manga adaptation, but I think the anime itself was the first version of this. And I think it was definitely made, because it was made for anime, it works a lot better. And Japan likes to, because the manga will take years sometimes, if not never end, One Piece, before an anime adaptation will be made. And then you have to have filler, you have to have other stuff. But when you have it where it's an anime, I could be wrong. When it's an anime and it's an anime and they're making it as an anime, it hits harder. It feels better. Like, not saying anything wrong against something like Dragon Ball Z or Naruto and stuff like that, but or Bleach. God, Bleach got screwed over with filler to the point where they started joking about it. Anime usually will, it'll sometimes mess up or certain bits, or it doesn't feel that good or genuine, or like, again, if you add filler, those filler arcs don't matter a lot of the time, which sucks. And then also it's just I'm not bringing up Naruto with the Hinata, new ability. It's like, oh, that's cool. I don't think she ever uses that ability again. It's like an anime only thing. And it's like, really? Then what was the point of this episode if it's not going to tie into everything else? It's not even going to help the character or evolve the character at much. And I'm just like, Where a cartoon like this, obviously there is no book or anything like that, and there's no weekly manga that they got to catch up on, or if they accidentally catch up on, they then have to fill it out. So this show knows. So usually these cartoons, given and owning the idea, are able to make it, freaking grand, and also use these anime tropes on top of things. Because when Anne says that, Amphibia is, Earth's power, or Amphibia's greatest power, you feel it, because we spent 3 seasons with that whole thing, and it wasn't really cliched, I guess. It wasn't really cliched or anything. So when you see this, and you see all the characters that we've actually known, it's not just a character that's a side character that we never really talked. No, we've met, I don't know who this guy is. We've met all of these characters. We've liked some of these characters. Some of them sure have only had one appearance, but that we know all these characters, we've met all these characters, so it feels more genuine, and it feels obviously more laid out. People like to say Owl House or Amphibia has a filler episode. I don't think there is one. There isn't one, because filler episodes are to fill out time. This isn't that. Every episode is to add more characters, to have more downtime, stuff like that. Steven Universe, though, whether you like it or not, when they had filler episodes, the Amethyst and Steven was the one I think I saw where it was where they do wrestling together, but Steven wants to, Amethyst to wrestle with him because that was kind of their thing. That wasn't a filler episode. That was character development. And again, this show has some faults, but it is still a damn good show. When it uses anime tropes, it uses them really damn well. And I was saying, it knows, because it knows how long it is, it knows what to play with, which makes me very scared for season 3 of The Owl House, because they thought they had a whole season. Turns out they didn't, and I'm like, damn. I like that these guys, that they're able to pull this trope off like that, and I believe Anne's whole thing. But then obviously, Anne asks for the power, and it is one, I love there's super forms, and then there's ultimate forms. And there is a distinct difference, I'd say, where you obviously have, Super Saiyan and all that stuff. This is this I would consider an ultimate form, where ultimate form is the pinnacle of power, yes, but it's probably gonna kill you in the end. When Ryuko Senketsu, that bit, super form. Ultra Instinct, I would still consider that a super form. Like, it seems like there's no going back from this. This is either you transform. It's either you don't transform into it, or you transform into it and become a god for a certain amount of time, maybe permanently, from what this says. But yeah, these guys. But yeah, Anne becomes super form, and like it's really heartbreaking seeing like the cracks form on her, showing like, yeah, she's probably not gonna make it. It doesn't really look like there's gonna be like like, oh yeah, like she can make it kind of thing. The cord dies, and straight dies. Like, you see her like almost like she's stoned, just slowly turning to ash. It's just like, oh my god. Like, God.
Don't cry, Sprig. It's okay. Saving this world was the best decision I've ever made.
Something about this, too, is weird. Like, not weird in a bad way, but in a sense of, like, her eyes being black. Like, they kind of still have life in them, but then, like, they're just black. And I'm just like, okay. Like, it feels like, yeah, she's, like, dying, but then also, like, she's already dead kind of thing. I don't know.
My regret is that I never got to see Lovejoy's do.
That's a good little reference to the movie things. 'Cause I don't think, did she ever talk about it? But Anne's death, and Anne is dead, which I actually kind of like, that each season has it to where one of the girls dies or is about to die. Like, season 1, Sasha fell off the tower. It looked like she was dead. Like, dead. She, and then Grimes saved her. I'm like, okay. Marcy got stabbed through the chest in the back, or back in the end. It's like, oh shit. Then obviously they added the theme song at the end, which it would have been great if they didn't have the theme song for season 3 at the end. So that way we could have seen Marcy with, like, we could have just thought, oh shit, Marcy's dead. But and then obviously Anne wakes up. Yeah. Anne wakes up dead, which is, this is a reference to something. Is it a reference to Knights? Is it a reference to, I don't know. Oh shit, I just realized, here's her sword. Well, you obviously see the Planters sign. You see the, her sword. You see her old rusted sword. I think that's what that is. Her racket. Her family mailbox. This, which looks exactly like her hair. The tennis ball. I think that might be shaped like her house. I don't know. But that's like obviously like the Planners thing. So also kind of looks like a book here. But Anne dies, which we find out later from God. This also feels like it would be a reference. Oh, snap. I feel like that was a thing.
Over countless worlds for countless eons.
Yeah, basically God. And God says, well, let God explain it.
Hey, none of that. I made a...
Also, when the cat's talking, it's giving me very much Gothy's voice from Dingo Doodles. Like, I know that's, the creator Dingo Doodles doing all those voices, which, congratulations on that. Like, I mean that in a sense of, I'm doing shit like that for Owlf Town, and by God, I'm like, certain characters I need to give another voice to, or I'm like, certain characters sound too much the same. That's why. Thanks again to the creator of Smash House for voicing Devlin. But Devlin will return also, hopefully.
copy of you right before...
But they reminds me very much of Gothy.
Inspired a backup. I am very cute.
So, what's going on? Am I dead or something?
Yes and no. I made a...
This
Harveyed you right before you expired. A backup, if you will. For all intents and purposes, you're the same Anne Boonchor.
Well, that's gonna cause some serious existential dread later on.
Yeah, like seriously, but also in the sense of like how I rationalize it. This is obviously 100% Anne, soul, body died, the other one's soul went into this body. That's how I'm rationalizing it. That's how I would prefer it to be. That this is still the Anne that died, but just, mind, soul just moved into a newer body.
Just watch your...
So, oh yeah, God. I like how, like, around the thing, too, you see, like, all the different pictures of everyone she loves. The flat blue butterfly teapot. Then basically God says, you did so well with, like, these stones that I gave to the earth, because here's the thing I like about this, too. And I would love if this happened. That this guy is connected to the Collector. I know, not really need a multiverse thing or whatever, but I just say this in the sense of, I would love the idea of, like, maybe the Collector is an old god too, along with this guy, and, like, yeah, you could probably have Bill Cipher in there somewhere, but, like, cause the voice of God in this, it very much feels like almost like a kid's voice, or it sounds at least kind of like his voice, kind of similar to the Collector. It might be the same voice actor, honestly speaking. But, so, I would have kind of liked it, like, there was a connection there, too. I don't know. But, God says, I gave these stones to test Earth, and Earth did test the multiverse, and they did what I thought, and they did absolutely everything horrible with them. Everything horrible. And you know what? I'm way more lenient on the idea of the music boxes. No, because it made the gems, not the music box. So someone made the music box. But I'm more lenient on the idea of the music box. If God just gave them a box with the gems in it, and like, okay, fine. If it's, here are the gems, we're gonna put it in a music box, I'm still like, you couldn't make anything better later on in life with all the technology you had, really. But besides that, but no, I think it is that God made it himself, or their self. But, God straight says, oh yeah, the reason for this is because I wanted to find someone who could replace me. And you're the only human in 10,000 years who used the stones for good. So I want you to become God. And Anne does something that I like, too. Like, she doesn't accept it. She says, she'll live.
I'd make 100 dumb mistakes. I'd probably blow up the multiverse if you put me in charge.
No! Don't do this to me, kid. You're the only mortal who qualifies. You're perfect.
No one's perfect.
I like that. Like, Anne's, like, it's nothing, and like, this would be like my only gripe. And this is like certain things about stories of the afterlife and stuff like that. Like,
Amphibia taught me that we're all changing, and
she basically goes on saying, she's still growing, she's still changing, she still has a lot of growing and changing to do. I like that. I like that a lot. And like, that's like, I loved Maya and the Three. I'd say that is probably one of the, that's an extremely good, like, animated series. Go watch that. That's really damn good. They pulled in the Magic Butt Frog song. It was amazing. It has a very mythological feeling to it too, especially like the ending bit where, spoilers, a similar idea happens where a certain character dies and becomes kind of a god. Something like that does, similar idea happens. And like, it's like, oh yeah, like, we'll be able to see them forever and stuff like that. And it's like, that's cool and all. But on the same idea of that, it's like, you'll never be able to hug them again. You'll never be able to hold them again. Like, and they're kind of just a stagnant, like, that's at least how I feel. Like, it has a very mythological ending, and it's really good. It honestly, I would say Maya and the Three is a perfect idea of like a modern mythological thing. Like, yeah, like, obviously superheroes, like, that kind of more like the new Greek heroes and shit. But I would definitely say, like that has this has very much more, that one has a very much more mythological ending of that. This, in a similar fashion, it's like, you can become God as like a 13-year-old. And it's like, but she loses out on the rest of her like human life. So I like that in the end, she decides no against that. She's like, no, I want, like, she wants to grow up. And then, like, she even says this, which I also like this too, because this is how I'm rationalizing the ending.
Stuck in their old ways, they proved me wrong, and our friendship got stronger. Their own.
Let's see here.
So you're saying we could continue improving? Maybe even one day feel worthy of this post?
That's if these don't become memes, that's very surprising.
Well, I have my whole life ahead of me to make bad choices and learn good lessons from them. Or I had my whole life ahead of me.
About that.
Yeah, you are talking to God.
Whoa! What's happening?
Basically, they're gonna send you back.
Dying this time?
Maybe. It does look like the afterlife in what the hell is that freaking movie? The movie where Jamie Foxx is the black guy in Disney, and then like he dies and he gets put into a body of a cat. Why are there always cats with the afterlife? I guess it could be an Egyptian thing, technically speaking, if you want to go mythology-wise. I mean, dog lure is God backwards, but beside the point. It looks like that afterlife, which that movie has such existential dread and like scariness to it. I'm just like, nah, I don't like that afterlife.
I'm sending you back to the world of the living. You've shown me the error in my thinking.
Which is
If
great.
you do that at age 13, then imagine the guardian you'll be after a life fully lived.
That's a cool version of God. Like a giant cat griffin.
Go.
I love this part. This is a great joke.
Live your life. I've waited thousands of years to retire. What's 78 years more?
Wait, are you saying that in 78 years I'm gonna...
So when she's 91. So Anne lives to be 91 years old. All I can hope, because here's the thing, and obviously this does set up that yes, she died. And I guess you could say it's kind of a cop-out that she's still alive. I'm okay with it. That's honestly not my biggest issue with this. Because look, first off, there's her past dead body. Which, I love this scene. Like, everyone crying. I love everyone crying, but I love this bit with Anne, because there's some shit I would do.
What's everyone looking at?
Not now, Anne. We're mourning the loss of a true hero.
I'd do the same thing. Everyone's crying, just come up behind everyone and just go, they look pretty dead. Man, look at that, they look pretty dead right over there.
I'm the greatest kid who ever...
Anne?
Eh?
Hey, dude! Oh.
Yeah, that's Anne. Anne did die, but I say her soul went into this body. That's how I'm rationalizing that.
Somehow, which is amazing, but also, how? I don't know where to begin.
God.
I think...
And they were given, talk to you later. So yeah, they're going to be later on when she dies. You have 3 shards, which they say are only one-time use. They all have a little thing, which I say this, a few things that I love. In the beginning where, they're going to give their powers back. First off, her just being, I was talking about interactions. I love this interaction.
She was waiting for us when we got here.
Marcy excited.
If you ask me.
Sasha kind of put off. I would have loved if those 3 were just exploring Amphibia together, learning this stuff.
Pretty creepy. Hello, Anne.
I don't know. I would have liked more of that. I would have liked. Also, I like when I like that too. I love this power blast. That's so cool. And also, it sounds very Powerpuff Girls, which I'm assuming their colors are slight reference to that. They are just that's a freaking cool setup. But kind of Powerpuff Girls-esque. I like that. Oh, you even have the one with red color with the ponytail. Andreas stepping up to his dad, the awesome badass fight. Three Stones deity. Actually, wait, what was Anne's pen name in that? Anne Booch. Okay, but like, oh, when they were gaining their powers, you see or let's see, she says it best.
Hello, Anne. Are you? The three of you close Amphibia. Good. Now, the three of you close your eyes. Focus. Think of your memories of Amphibia.
The planner's closest to Anne. Closest to Grime. Grime is closest to Sasha. Olivia and Yunnan are closest to Marcy, along with Andreas. Like, each of their found families are nearer to them, and I like that. Or like, even like towards the end, where they're saying their goodbyes, you have the three things. You have these two, which
this world thinking only of myself. It was wrong of me, and I wish I'd gotten to know you both better.
And again, I'm gonna bring it up in a minute.
Have a lot to learn, Master Mark.
Also, blue, red, and green.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
In a way, you helped us see what was important as well.
These two are together. Beautiful. Cute. I'll bring up again few of my complaints towards the end. I like Andreas is sulking, doesn't want that. I would have loved if Marcy would have hugged him, please. Some people are gonna say, like, Andreas doesn't deserve it, he should have been dead. I would rather him be alive and try to work through regret or try to help, especially because with his knowledge of like the technology stuff, could help, I imagine, a lot. Marcy giving him a hug would have been awesome too, like a way to say she forgives him. These two crying. These two try to be serious and then are the biggest crybabies out of both of them. Out of all three of them. Sasha's gonna miss her stepdad.
Not as much as I'm gonna miss you.
You find Percy and Braddock.
And I like that too. They bring up Percy and Braddock, so covering that plot hole.
I'll miss them forever.
I will.
I love these guys.
I find the pieces of my heart and put them back together.
Well, your daughter's going to another world, so you're not going to get that piece back for a piece back. Then obviously you have this, which this is where I cried. I don't know if it's gonna like it's like sad, like seeing them say goodbye and stuff like that. Here's the thing. You could probably tell, at least because my grandma tried watching my last video of the Owl House one because she wanted to know what I was doing all day. She watched it. She's like, "Oh, you're just talking," but I was listening to the entire thing, and I'm like, I sound like I'm on the verge of goddamn tears. The entire freaking episode. Like, you can tell when I'm getting choked up, and I'm like, oh god. Like, this show I do love too. Don't get me wrong, and I don't know if this will really choke me up that much. Like, I do love like the jokes here and like them saying goodbye. I love Anne just saying, yes, you are like my little sister. Because that just shows how much of a connection that is. I love that.
An amazing frog and take over the world.
She becomes a pretty cool, well-designed frog. And I'm like, towards the end, they do hint that like Sprig, his girlfriend, and I would hope Polly. Wait, what happened to Frobo? Was Frobo in the end? Oh yeah, I think he was. Yeah, I think he was. But that like they found a new continent on Amphibia that they want to go visit, and I'm like, yes, give me any series on that, yes. But also on the flip side of that, like I'm like, but Anne won't be there. And I'm like, I would have.
Without you as my moral compass,
I'll bring it up. I'll bring up my problems in a minute. I like this. This is a cute scene.
Goodbye.
This is the scene that made me cry too.
Thanks for taking
This is
my
the
turn.
scene that really made me cry.
So lucky to call myself a planter.
One, that Anne is a planter. Like, Owl House, I need Luz to say she is a Clawthorn. I need her to say that. I want her to say that, and I want her to call Ida her mom. And also, I want that girl staying on the Isle. Camilla can move to the Boiling Isles, sure. And Luz better stay on the goddamn Isles. Because you're probably seeing a little bit of what I'm a little bit mad about, but I'll get to that.
I'm the lucky one, Anne. I'm so blessed to have a granddaughter like you.
Okay, I'm tearing up a little. I like that he says, yes, you're my granddaughter. Again, I liked it when he said it back in the Amphibia, the Newtopia episode. I like it here too. Like, this I really like, and this just, hammers it in more that, yes, they're family. And then this part really got me. Okay, now it's getting me.
If you ever need a home-cooked meal or your old room back, just stop by.
I like that. I like that a lot, and it feels good because it's like it's.
Wise Frog once told me, family always finds each other.
And then there's that bit. Like, I feel, by God, that these, like, I love that because Hop Pop is hoping they'll meet again. And Anne is hoping, that, yeah, they'll find each other again. And like, I'll bring it up. I love this too, and I love their friendship, their brother sister dynamic.
Which means that we'll never be apart. Not really. Which means that we'll never be apart.
Goodbye, Anne. I'll never forget you.
And I won't forget you either, Sprig. Which means that we'll never be apart.
That's cute, and I love this. I love them together. I don't want to get copyrighted.
Spran against the world.
Spran against the world. I want you to have this.
And I like, if I didn't know that thing was infinitely charged now, I'd be like, that thing's gonna die in a day. But it's like, no, it's infinitely charged, so we're fine. And probably also, if not, they probably taught her how to. You probably could have just get that shit shocked again.
Be on your future adventures.
I love all of this. It's cute. But they get sent back home. Like, the goodbye, it hurts so much. And I want to look at what that code means. I'll look it up in a minute. This feels very much like the ending of Narnia kind of feel, kind of. And they kind of just accidentally went back, and then they hated living in our world then. I'm just like, yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, I love that so much. You could tell the animation got really good for that was like 5 seconds. Okay, and then one leaf one of the leaves from her hair, and it's like, did you think maybe like they can find a way to get back to? Nope, we're destroying that shit. We're gonna take every last hope of that.
So, what now?
Now we build a better world.
And they pretty much do. That's just...
Not to undercut you guys, but I just got my first hair!
Was it because of the stress of losing your older sister? I kind of don't like that this kind of just went back to being nothing. I feel like they could have used some of that technology. This I love. Oh, like, I just realized he... Oh, so I guess he technically is using that technology. I love that. I love Andres' look for a few reasons. One, I think this might be a reference to Anne a bit, but you have his one of his best friend's hammer, Barrel's hammer. You have a leaf for Leaf, and then you have his daughter's pin, and I love that. I love that a lot. Okay, great. I love how you see also that Anne still has an effect on these people, where you see Thai tea pancakes with maggots, but...
Good day, you frogs. See you at the ceremony.
I like Polly's design here.
Who you calling young lady?
Then again, she said young lady, so who you calling young lady? Maybe she's a tomboy. Maybe she's I don't know. But in either case, I like Polly's design. I want to see more of this design. She's cute. Like, come on. It would be so cool to see her go on adventures. These three, which I can't remember what the hell. I just remember this guy looks like the Zarbon from Dragon Ball. Were these bounty hunters? I can't remember.
Hello, Polly. Still can't get used to you as a frog.
Whatever, Wally.
I love that. These are her brothers and sisters, right?
Potion for your rheumatism, Mrs. Croker. Try not.
These are her brothers and sisters, right? And they've just been having fun with it. I think that's what that is, right? Because I was looking at him like, does she have kids? And I'm like, because I don't know how far of a distance this is between the two, a timeline. Also, now she can walk.
Mama, let's dance.
The music.
Hurry up, Bubble.
Lago lost all that because he had the cheat day, and I guess he didn't keep up with everything. Anne's there. This is obviously a celebration for Anne. These two are together.
It's slow.
I had a little help.
These two are married.
You won the election?
Wait, I just realized, is he wearing Sasha's sword? Dad, be so cool. He has his daughter's sword.
Hello, delegates.
I'd imagine it's a delegate, so they're higher up. Okay, I guess they're delegates of frogs, newts, and toads. I guess. I thought maybe he became the knight of the queen.
Just in time for the ceremony.
Toady, you won the election?
Well, I had a little help.
He had a badass beard.
Bribe themselves.
Not these guys. Grime. This is a weird relationship I didn't expect. And just makes me wonder the biology of it all, but whatever.
You know, I wouldn't mind settling down in a quiet swamp like this. It's slow.
Cute.
People are friendly.
And it's far away from the countless enemies I made when I was General Yunnan!
Now you're delegate Yunnan.
Scourge of the Sand Wars, defeater of Ragnar the Wretched!
Ragnar.
I know, sweetheart. We all know.
That's cute. Oh wait, did I see a ring on her finger? I already know they're together. No, I didn't. They're together. And Sprig became... Actually, wait, I think you see Frobo here? Yeah, you do. Also that he made his avocados. He was able to keep one of the avocado seeds, got with his girlfriend, and Sprig became Dipper Pines. which I already pre-ordered Marcy's journal. Why did they make it Sprig's journal? I guess Marcy's journal will probably give more info on what happened in between everything, which honestly I love. But
Sprig, come on! It's time for the unveiling ceremony!
I just realized it's supposed to be like the tomatoes were supposed to be like the plants from I was like how she has one glove. The plants from Mario.
Finally!
And drawing Domino, Amphibia possibly. There's something else out there. It looks like he's traveled maybe. The Thai Go menu, pictures of Anne. The Amphibia writing. Which I thought, okay, maybe they showed this so like, in case people who didn't know about the thing could see the code and then try to decipher at the end. Nope, I have no idea how the hell to decipher that last thing. I'll look it up. It's probably just Thai. Oh wait, did Sprig have something wrong with his foot? No. Sprig looks weird with long hair. That's cool, seeing the statue. We miss you, girl. Oh, that's cool. I didn't notice that. It says it on the plaque.
Guess what, Sprig?
I love her hair.
Told me they discovered a new continent, untouched by frog, newt, or toad.
So then I wonder what is there, and I love to see that.
Like a new adventure?
And I would love that adventure. I would love to see that.
I'm in.
I love everything that happens in Amphibia. Here's what I would have wanted. Okay. There's two. Okay, and here's the thing. Marcy moved away. For Soul Air. 10 years later. Marcy moved away. She also has a, what is it? Apparently, like, people are straight saying, yeah, no, that shit never happened. Being attacked by newts, stuff like that. And there's only not 2 giant herons. And what the hell is this Ghostbusters shit? Bakugo, Sakura, Newt for her, Newt family, and the bird fries for Joe Sparrow. And that was probably supposed to be like a Pokemon or two, like, but yeah, like the Sparrow. Sasha with the swords on her thing. The frog for Anne. Sasha's bi, and I apparently on Twitter, Matt Bradley, I think that, sorry if I mess up the names. Shay confirms it. Her guitar, her swords as keychains, which she must have gotten custom made. Marcy's making webcomics. I can't understand what she said Sasha is doing.
And how about you? Psych degree coming in handy?
Psych degree.
And how about you? Psych degree coming in handy?
Yeah, I really like working with the kids.
I don't know. Psych to Greek. Someone please tell me in the comments what she said. For me, it sounds like she just suddenly just switched to a different language.
It's doing pretty well on mine. And how about you? Psych degree coming in handy?
Yeah, I really like working with the kids.
Or is it that she has kids?
Ooh.
She's 23 also.
Did you and Anne hang out much after I moved?
And then this too also hurts.
Yeah, but we kind of fell into different friend groups in high school.
Which, I get it. I get it. You know, some friends don't stick together, stuff like that. I feel like the 3 dumbasses who went to another world would probably stick the hell together. Especially if you're gonna say Sasha's bi. Have her be with Anne! The hell? Why not end with that?
We still talked, but only every once in a while.
And then apparently they just lost contact. Like,
Have you heard what Anne's doing these days?
Yes, and I love it.
and then Anne, I get it. She starts liking frogs, and she starts her own little thing, and she calls it.
Thank Anne, the herpetologist.
Hey, look, it's Reagan from Inside Job.
Change can be difficult, but
She names the frog Sprig.
it can be the hardest thing to realize you can't hold on to something forever. Sometimes you have to let it go.
No,
But after
fuck
you let
off.
it go, you'd be surprised what makes its way back to you.
Which, and I like that little Amphibia, get lost in Amphibia. Or else I didn't read the end first. I just said, get lost, Amphibia. Get lost, Amphibia. There's Olms over here. Oh, you see the gems? I didn't realize that. Blue, for them. Oh, Mother Olm. Oh, that's cool. Toads. Oh, look, there's Grime with like his little scar on his eye. Like Mother Olm. Oh, God. Look at that. That's cool. Yeah, frogs. The Olms. Toads, newts. Oh, it's also like Toad Tower. I didn't realize that. It's like Toad Tower. This is probably the new. Yeah, this is the newts. Okay, like just how you have this place kind of looking like the planter's home. You have this looks like the Olms Kingdom. This looks like the Newtopia's castle. You have for these 3. You have the Toad Tower here, and this is, and I like this. This is great. The end. You have a little thing where it goes over everything. You see your Toad Tower. You see the planners thing. The moon is back. Also, they said, like, finally it's over. I'm like, the tides definitely are, because Jesus Christ, what are they going to do about the moon? I guess they got a new one. How? Who the hell knows? They got a new moon. And you have this message at the end, which... And, like, obviously their colors... And, like, a new best friends photo, forever photo. Okay. I'm at two minds with this ending. One, I loved everything that happened in Amphibia. Sprig becoming adventure. Everything going like that. There's a chant, like, Sprig becoming an adventure and all this stuff. I like that. And you know what? I guess I'd be kind of okay with this ending too. If it showed the rest of Anne's life. Like, up to her death. Because here's the way I see it. Either you go full Anne dies, the end. Anne dies, and, you know, it's heroic sacrifice, and maybe the girls go off on their own. Sure. I would have liked my happy ending. They solidify the portals. Marcy and Sasha decides, screw it, I'm going to go back to live in Amphibia. Maybe they meet their parents, but they, you know, say like, sorry, we're going back to Amphibia. That's where our family is. That's where we're living. Sasha helps rebuild thing. Marcy with her technology brain tries to, you know, help with technology and fix things with Andreas and everyone else, rekindle that stuff. Cause she even says, I wish we had more time with Olivia and you. And I'm like, yes. And probably goes back, but comes, or maybe goes there, maybe, you know, portal open, able to go to Earth, meet everyone, come back home. Cool. If you're gonna do this, where you have it where she comes back to Earth and just lives out the rest of her life there, great. End it with, and maybe it's a sucky thing, maybe it's a slap in the face or some critical saying like, no, this is a better ending. I would rather you do an up style thing. Like, yeah, you have that little bit of, like, for Amphibia, but then you have the up style thing where, like, you see, like, Marcy and Sasha meeting. Sure, like, you could probably see them meeting each other again. You could probably see these characters maybe separate but then come back or something like that, or at least be friends throughout their lives, living around each other together. I would love that. I don't know, maybe that's kind of what this is. Like, that's like her, like Marcy coming back and now they're going to be friends again together forever. I would love that. Maybe there's like, two girlfriends now. They're together, all three of them together. I would love that if that's the case for this ending. That kind of makes this a bit better. But she still is missing her friends, her other family in another world. Like, have it, sure, they're together, everything. You kind of like Up. You see different things that happen throughout everything. In the very end, maybe you see like like an old, like, Anne very old, like holding Sasha and Marcy's hands, like just like like kind of like this, but like their hands touching each other, and then like you see Anne's hand go limp. Then you cut to back to Amphibia. See, it feels very, like I'm kind of, making myself sound like maybe then you come back to an Amphibia, you see an old Sprig who's gone on a shit ton of adventures. He's maybe a little bit scarred up, sitting, just relaxing. Maybe he's close to his deathbed or something. I don't know. Maybe he's sitting there, sitting on the thing, and all you see is the three lights kind of shine, and you hear How am I getting choked on my own damn idea? Stop it. You don't see any. All you see is the lights coming off on screen. Spring looking up happy. And, you know, maybe you hear Anne go, you want to go on another adventure? And then it ends there. I'm fucking crying at my own goddamn ending. God damn it. Stop it. I would have liked that more, because you would have had, Anne lived out her whole life on Earth, but then at the very end, she does take up the offer. She does become God, and in the end, her and Sprig go on a new adventure towards the end. Her and Sprig go on a new adventure. Maybe even see, like, as the light hits, like, you just see Sprig old light shine, and then it, like, if you don't show Anne, like, then you could probably show, like, a clip of Anne and Sprig hugging, but like, you know, it's young Sprig and Anne, and like it's the idea of like, is this like a memory? Is this them now? Like, did Anne make Sprig to where he could basically go on adventures again? Like the two of them are going to go on adventures together, like to other worlds or like other like. I would have liked an ending like that more. The idea that, yeah, they're pretty much never going to go back to Amphibia, that kind of sucks. That really kind of sucks. Like, I guess they already set up that they have the portals. Like, that they can make the portals to get there. But they need a power source. And I guess supposedly there's not a power source strong enough to do it. I'm like, come on, you can figure some shit out. Give me something. Give me something. Like, come on. But that's what I would have done. That's what I would have done as a writer. Because if you, like, you already backpedaled on Anne dying, like, and, you know, she comes back, you know, happy ending, and, you know, great, I like that. That's fine. But by God, it, like, at least give us a full happy ending if you're going to try to go that route. Don't try to make it kind of happy, but then kind of not happy. Like, the best case scenario I can see here, these three are back together again. Like this, I just thought it kind of felt like a visit, but maybe it's, Marcy's back to stay and the three of them are together. Like it seems like Sasha knows where Anne is and living, but didn't decide to ever contact again since high school. Like, I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way, and I don't like that. And like, it really makes me mad too. It makes me very mad for Gravity Falls' ending, because if you know, one, they backpedaled on Stan like having amnesia. Fine, okay. I'm getting off into certain other tangents, but I just want to bring this up because it kind of is a mess up with this too. It's kind of the idea of this too, where a lot of people got mad at Mabel for like releasing Bill Cipher and starting all this shit. I could not give two. That is not what she got tricked. That's flat out. She got tricked by Bill and all that stuff. That is not what I have an issue with Gravity Falls ending. What I have an issue with Gravity Falls ending is the bit where, and I guess that heart also probably means they love each other. Sorry, what I have an issue with is when, like, Dipper basically gets a choice to stay with Stanford and learn everything he wanted to learn, and, you know, just learn everything he wanted to learn. Have fun. Let me make sure this is recording because I don't need this to screw up. I really, really don't need this to screw up. Okay. Where Stanford says, you know, you can join me, learn about, like, you know, do everything you basically ever wanted to do in your life. Your dream. We can make your dream a reality. And Mabel goes, but you leave me behind. We have to be together forever. And I'm like, says the girl who is constantly trying to find a boyfriend to get married to and all this stuff. Like, I don't think your boyfriend's going to want your brother always around. Just a thought. It's so, like, like, watching that, it always made me mad in the end that, yeah, if they separated there, for that show, if they would have separated there and went their two different ways, I'd be kind of okay with that. Like, that one I would have been kind of okay with, like, and then, you know, if they meet up later on or they meet every summer, great. That'd be awesome. That'd be cool. Like, that would be amazing. I would love that. This one, no! like, their whole thing, this entire damn show is Anne trying to find her friends again. And they finally meet up together. They defeat the big bad. And then they still go their separate way. No! No! Why would you make that the ending? Like, yes, they're back together. But now she's separated. Not only was Anne separated from her friends through a good chunk of her life. Yeah, they're all together now and they live in a poly relationship. Great. Awesome. That doesn't diffuse that they did separate. And it doesn't diffuse the idea that she's still separated now from her entire frog family. Like, oh my, like, it's a story about, like, girl obviously trying to learn to grow, yes, and, like, become less of a bad person. But also in the same point, like, it's about her trying to find her friends and get together. Why the hell doesn't it end with that? With her entire family back together? Like, what did, like again, like I said, this ending is okay for the midpoint of like an up thing where you see everything through Anne's life up until her death. And then when she becomes God, goes back to Amphibia to meet Sprig again, and they have another adventure. I would love that. And it again, this makes me worried for, or like again, or, you know, just have it to where, yes, they're all together again. Maybe, I don't freaking know, Marcy's dad does construction and shit, so after the Amphibia attack, he now has a job in California. Like, and he's able to stay there. And then, you know, all three of them are able to stick together. Like, I get it. Life changes shit. Great. But this is a story about her trying to find her friends and making new family. And, like, in the end, now she's separated from, like, most, like, no! Like, at least, like, the Gravity Falls one, you could say they visit every summer. You could literally have, like, yes, they've been together the entire life, and now they go their separate ways, and that's tragic, but eventually, you know, life is the reason for that, and then they come back together. This is literally, and like, because the entire series is about them together, and now it's like, how do they work apart? This is an entire thing about them being apart, coming back together, but then being ripped apart again. No! What the hell? No! And here's the thing. I love Amphibia's finales. Like I said, Amphibia has some of the best damn finales of like, animation, I think. I legitimately think that. It has some of the best finales from season 1 and 2. By God, do I feel like this one kind of dropped it a little bit towards the end. Like, I love this show. This show is great. Again, but right now, it is not like one of my top ones. And like, this feels like that undercut. Like, I just got swept under the legs. Like, there's some bits I teared up a little bit. But here's the messed up part. I was crying like so hard for the last episode of the Owl House. This one, I'm like, I cried maybe once, which, you know, great. But this ending, it's like, yeah, they're together. Is Marcy and Sasha just visiting? Like, Marcy and Anne will never apparently meet Sprig again. Like, and here's the thing too, like, if let's say they tried to make a second series that's following this, and like, you know, maybe Anne comes back, like, that undercuts this entire thing. This thing undercuts this entire thing, sweeping it under the leg. Like, that's why at least the idea of her becoming God and then, like, you know, going on another adventure, it's like, okay, maybe we can see those adventures. Like, it's already after the two had a long lives, and maybe, you know, maybe her and Anne, Sprig and Anne have a disconnect. Maybe her God powers kind of, you know, give her, like, certain things. Like, I don't know, maybe she brings Sasha and Marcy, like, I want to thank the Amphibia team and all of them. This is really good. I like this show a lot. You did make me mad a few times with, like, the planners being very dumb around Sasha with Toad Tower thing and the Pictionary stuff. That got me mad because I'm like, these guys are idiots. Maybe really didn't like them then. This had some cool anime scenes, cool fights, cool all that. But by God, this ending, like, it's not even like, it's not even like, oh, like, some a character dies and, like, you kind of feel sad. Or like Maya in the 3, where it's like, the ending is like, kind of like lukewarm, sad, happy, but kind of really sad too. Like, this leaves like such a sad idea there. Especially because then you add just even ideas of our world where it's like, okay, well, these guys were heroes in another world where they have family and adored and loved and all this stuff. And now they got to come back here where you had to deal with all the shit that we deal here. And it's not like, oh, life is hard. No, I mean the stupid shit like, certain people messing with other people's rights. You have people like stuff like that. Like, it's just like, you come here, they'll work a job that I'm happy that, Marcy's doing webcomics. I'm not sure what Sasha's doing. And she's a worker in like the Amphibia thing, but like, I don't know. Like, maybe she owned it. I don't know. All I know is it hurts, and not in like a good way of hurting. Like, I don't know. Like, and it's really funny because, again, like, and I don't want to bring up the Owl House, like, oh, Owl House is better, but I want to bring it up in the sense of the last episode of the Owl House. If you would have told me that was the season finale for season 2, I probably could have believed you. Because it leaves off on, like, it leaves such emotions and punch in your soul. And, like, I was pretty much, like almost down the entire day because of that. Like, I don't know if, like, that's stupid for me feeling that way, but, like, at some bits, I was just going, who knows? Maybe this code will make me happy when I figure out what the hell it means. But yeah, like, it just felt like an undercut under my legs here. And it's just like, if you, like, that one, like, it had such emotion and grit. And if you told me that was the season finale of season 2, I'd be like, oh my God, it's such a good season finale. Like, it brings you such a lowest low. And then when good things happen, you're like, yeah, this doesn't feel that much like it has that good part. It feels just kind of sad. It just feels sad, like the idea that she'll never meet her family again. Her frog family again. And, like, Marcy and Sasha separated from Anne and all this stuff. Like, I don't know. I feel like Anne probably would have tried to keep a closer hold on Sasha. Sasha would have tried to keep a closer hold on Anne after everything they've been through. But I guess not. And that just kind of sucks so hard. I don't know. Let me look up what this Amphibia end credits code is. I'm sure someone's deciphered it on Twitter by now. Oh, okay, so it is Thai. It is the Thai text in the end credits translates to complete or the end. That doesn't make me happy. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. To me, again, it just feels like a slap. It feels a bit like a slap in the face. And maybe that's just like, maybe I don't know. Like, maybe it just feels like a slap in the face. To me, if Gravity Falls ended with the two separating, Dipper with Stanford, Mabel going back to California, and they talk, like, they talk every summer, they come back together like that. I feel like that would be more powerful, showing that even if they're separated, they're together. Yeah, cool. Like, I feel like that would be better. This, where it's a show about them separate and them trying to find each other again and finding themselves, but then separating again, especially now, even on a bigger scale, because now she can't even visit her frog family at all and all this stuff. It really hurts. And again, it does leave at the end that Anne could become a god, or Anne is probably going to become a god at the end. Cool. I would love in the end, we don't need to see her as God, but I would like, just the lights coming off of an old sprig and, you just hear Anne's voice going, you want to go on another adventure? Like, something like that. I don't know. I feel like that would have been more better. And again, seeing like an idea of like that, yes, these three did stay together the whole time. I don't know. It doesn't, to me, if the crew loves this and others love this, great. If you think this is a great finale for Amphibia, awesome. That's just my thing. That is just my idea of this, where I feel like there should have been a difference there. I don't know. There should have been a way for Anne either to go back, for me to stabilize a portal and live in both worlds. And again, this is making me so damn scared for the Owl House. I'm like, do not tell me Luz goes to the human world and leaves her girlfriend, her mom, her mom, her little brother, and all these behind. And then like they do like a time skip or something like, no, have Luz stay on the Isles, have Camilla move there. Something, please. Don't do the whole, they have to be on Earth at the end. No! Tell me what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. thank you, Amphibia, and the crew who made Amphibia for giving me such great fun of a show. It's great. Yes, I talked a lot of shit about some things, but again, you have some of the best finales in this series, in like animation in general. It's just this ending where I'm having an issue with. Oh, God. Also, some characterization throughout the series with like the planet being a dick to Sasha at one time, but that's beside the point. I love this show. I love this show. It's a great show. That's just my issues again are just, again, a series about a girl trying to find her friends and making a new family. And then by the end of it, she loses all of that for a few years. And the two girls come back and maybe they reconnect, or maybe like Marcy then moves back to wherever, or maybe she's moving permanently. I don't know. And like, I don't know. And like, it looks like she's never going back to see Sprig again or whatever. So that's why, like, I don't know. I would have preferred something like that. Something saying that she was at least trying to get back to Amphibia to meet her family again. Oh, God. Let me just... I don't want to end on that note, on that picture, because Jesus Christ. I want to end on this. I want to end on this one because I like this one a lot. God. But all right. Yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Again, it's not like I regret getting this shirt. It's not like I regret watching the show. I love the show. It's just that ending that it rubs me the wrong way, and I don't like that. But thanks for watching. Share your videos. Hopefully you enjoy this. And we will. See you later. Go check out Owl Wolf Town. It's a little animated show that I did on my channel. So. Thank you, Amphibia. Sad to see you go. Hopefully we'll get some more media like comics and stuff, but sad to see you go. Again, it makes me tear up, him calling her granddaughter, him calling her granddaughter, Polly's her little sister, Sprig, best friend, little brother, like, that hits so much, and I love that so much.